incredible listening to the stories from the women who are involved in Firefoxes. They talk about the reasons why they come and be part of the organisation, and a lot of it is about fire awareness and about making our community safer in a lot of ways. It's also about feeling less isolated. It's about opening lines of communication. It's about sharing stories and wisdom across generations in the hope that we can have better outcomes for our community.
And we're just better fire prepared because we're connected, and that's one of the bottom lines, isn't it? That we actually know a bit more about it since we've gone through it. We're not shy to share the information with each other and probably challenge each other a little bit about on what we're really thinking about and what we're doing.
Can you remember those conversations we had about fire plan? We used to think that fire plans were just about whether you stay or whether you go.
We've got a whole new view on what a fire plan is, because we talk about fire plans, we talk about so much more than just the hands-on stuff as well. We absolutely talk about that element of it, but we talk about the things that no one else talks about, and that's the emotional stuff that's involved in.
How do you prepare yourself for an event like that emotionally?
And how do you prepare yourself if you get separated from your partner and your kids, or you don't know where they are? And that's the stuff that we knew nothing about prior to.
And what if the people that you expect to be home, to be holding the pumps and manning the hoses, what if they're not there? And what if the kids are at school and they're not at home? And what if your emergency contacts aren't around?
So we've learnt so much about that, but we've learnt so much about life. We've learnt so much about opportunities. We've learnt so much about what's possible. We've learnt so much around what can be achieved when egos are left at the door, when people just come together with a common goal and happily work together, knowing that's going to be probably a little bit hard, and there'll be times when we fall over, and God knows we've done that plenty of times, but we get back up and we keep going as a community to be able to have an international presence in terms of recovery with the DVD and just the links that we've made, to having that presence right across Australia. And we've still got so much more to do yet, haven't we? Really, we've barely touched the surface in that way.
We were inspired to enter the 2013 Fire Awareness Awards after recognising that the Firefoxes programs were fabulous, and that the broader community had the opportunity to learn a bit more about the fabulous work that Firefoxes was doing.
Yeah, when the notification arrived that we were a finalist in the ceremony, we thought, well, that's great, because we know how much work that we've done behind the scenes as an organisation, and to get that little bit of notification to say, yeah, you're in the running. I think we were a bit shocked though at the same time. Like we weren't expecting it, but it was a real little feather in the cap for everybody involved in Firefoxes.
The immediate impact of winning the award meant that there were a whole heap of women in our community who all of a sudden had a burst of enthusiasm around what might be possible in terms of fire preparation and awareness raising in our community.
The next steps for Firefoxes is to continue to do what we've been doing for the last 5 years, and that's around connecting people from all across different regions now across Australia and internationally, to continue to not just talk about recovery, but to continue to tell the story about the real way to prepare in the lead up to any, disaster zone, if you live in one of those, and to share the real story of not just the recovery phase in structural terms, but in the emotional sense. And that allows us to lead into that in terms of preparation talks around being fire ready, but also about being emotionally ready leading into the fire seasons.